facilities you may not be able to enter with an ID that doesn't have a star on it. Welcome to Alpha Gift Services. My name is Alan, and we're going to be discussing immigration processes on this channel mostly. So I want to welcome you if this is your first time joining our channel, joining our family. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to our channel. You want to share with your friends and family, and also comment in the comment section regarding any question or any content that you want us to go over, or any if you have a question about a certain application, feel free to do so. But today I wanted to take an opportunity to actually discuss what's really going on right now in terms of the Real ID Act. We probably have heard there's a lot of the immigrant community that's kind of concerned with the May 7th, 2025. That's going to be a deadline for you to get a real ID. So there's a lot of scares and a lot of rumors about it. So to put it in simpler terms, a real ID is really just that. So everybody know back in 2001, September 11, right? 9/11, tragic thing that happened to America. So they created a commission, say, hey, we need a standard for identification in terms of, if you have an ID, it needs to have certain security features. As we know, 50 states, right? So every state independently had their own IDs. They could do whatever they want. But after the commission and after the act got passed, they created a standard that every state needed to have certain security features on the ID. So now, like I said, the act has been passed since 2005, and they've been trying to put this in motion for years. I mean, I remember back in 2018, 19, they talked about it, and always delays, right? So they wanted to give time to the states to do so. What does that mean for you as an immigrant? So basically, all it means is you need to get a real ID in order to do certain things like travel, and without being searched and things like, or having access to certain federal government buildings. What that means is there's certain federal facilities you may not be able to enter with an ID that doesn't have a star on it. So if it's a real ID, you'll notice you have a golden star. That means you met all the requirements as far as documentation you presented to a DMV or whatever else they needed in your state. So you want to check with your state as well, see if there's any specific documents they need that may not be the same as my state. And ideally, they want a birth certificate, they want a passport, or they want to have legal status. Especially as an immigrant, you need to be able to provide your legal status, for you to get a real ID. Now, that doesn't mean you can't travel or do anything in the States. Don't let people scare you with that. All that means is it's not going to be accepted as a real ID that meets the requirement or in compliance with what the federal government has deemed as a real ID, right? So let's say you're traveling, right, and you don't have a real ID. What's going to happen? They can't tell you can't travel. All that's going to happen is TSA is going to do some more searches or additional, inspection before they let you get on board flight. So which means you probably want to create a little time when you get to the airport. It's probably going to take you longer, right? Or you may not be able to enter certain government facilities without showing an alternative ID, such as, your work authorization card. It could be a passport. It could be whatever that particular government facility requires. In essence, is you don't have to fear that you won't be able to travel, you won't be able to move about in the U.S. That's not what that means. So I want to make sure you understand you need to, hear the information. But before you run and take an action, you want to talk to people if you're not sure. You want to contact our office, Alpha Gift Services, www.alphagiftservices.com, or you can call us here directly at 877-302-1166. Contact us if you have a question. Write on our, WhatsApp page, write on our comment. Say something. We're here to help. We're here to answer your information. Again, I want to thank you for coming to our channel. If you have any information, feel free to contact us.